Hey, it's Mark Andrews, and here we go with questions 1 through 20 of the Rule 134 test for 2022 from CFOA. Okay, question number 1, K 4th and 6 at the K42. K19 punts the ball, and it's partially blocked by R24. The ball hits the ground at the R45 and rolls out of bounds at the K49. Team K had only 6 players on the line at the snap, so we have an illegal formation. So originally this question had a Rule 3 reference which didn't apply to this question. I'm not sure why it was there, but it doesn't matter. This is a good question, and it's actually covered under 10.4.2. So basically, we got a ball out of bounds with a 5-yard illegal formation foul. So R has 2 choices. They can replay the down and move K back 5 yards, or they can take the ball at the dead ball spot, and based on the 10.4.2 exception, which says the basic spot may, at the option of the offended team, be the succeeding spot for fouls by K during a free or scrimmage down, prior to the end of the kick when K will not be the next to put the ball in play, which it fits this play exactly. So that what that means is that instead of re-kicking, they can just tack the 5 yards onto where the ball became dead, and it'll be first down for R. So if they move them back 5 yards, it's K 4th and 11 at the K37. If R takes the ball, it'll be 1st and 10 at the K44 because it went out of bounds at the K49. So the answer is C. Either is correct. Okay, question number 2. This is an interesting question because it doesn't happen very often, but I have seen it happen in the NFL, never in high school, but it could happen. So let's talk about it. K 4th and 7 at the K10. K33 punts the ball, and R12 makes a fair catch at the R49. Now, when a team makes a fair catch, one of their options is to have a free kick. And a free kick, as we know, is like a kickoff, right? There's no rushing. So literally, R could attempt a field goal on that first play, and K can't rush. It's just a free kick. And the time I saw it happen, the guy made it. So I mean, it was pretty cool. Anyway, so Article 2 says a free kick shall also put the ball in play. C, when a free kick is chosen after a fair catch or awarded fair catch. The replay of a down which follows a fair catch or an awarded fair catch. So what that says is that they have this option for the free kick. If they don't take it and the next play there is a foul and the play is replayed, then they still have this option. So imagine this is scenario. We have B22 flagged for DPI. So now we're going to move that ball 15 yards closer. So he's at the R49. So we're going to now move it to the K36, and he can free kick it from there. So again, not something that happens a whole lot, but you need to know this. So the question states that this is not allowed because it's not immediately after the fair catch. We know that 412C says the replay of a down, which allows a fair catch, then they can allow a free kick. So this is false. Okay, ladies and germs, hold on to your hats for this one. A, 3rd and 3 on the B36. A16 scrambles to the B33 and throws a pass to A81, who runs for a touchdown. The second period expires during A81's run. Team B accepts the penalty for A's foul. Now, when I first read this, I was like, A's foul? What? Where? What? You didn't talk about a foul. But we look closely. The line of scrimmage was the B36. A16 through from the B33. So he doesn't tell us that it's an illegal forward pass, but it is. So 333A, which is way up here, says a period shall be expended for an untimed down if one of the following occurred during a down in which time expires. And A says there was a foul by either team and the penalty is accepted, which is what we have, except for those fouls listed in 334B. We'll go back down to 334B, and we say a period shall not be extended by an untimed down if during the last time down of the period one of the following occurs. There was a foul by either team and the penalty is accepted for this one. Fouls that specify a loss of down. An illegal forward pass is a 5-yard penalty enforced from the spot of the pass, and it includes loss of down. So they accepted the penalty, no touchdown, quarter's over. Whew, answer C. Okay, question number 4. A third and goal at the B6. Quarterback A10 passes to A87 in the end zone, but B22 intercepts the ball and runs to the B28. During B22's run, B41 holds A87 in the end zone. Time for the first period runs out during the play. And we have the same rule references we've had in the past. It's about extending the period. The one that's missing here, I kind of surprised is not listed, is 842, which is it's a safety win, right? So, it's a safety win. There's a bunch of different ones. So, C tells us a player on offense commits any foul for which the penalty is accepted and enforcement is from a spot in his end zone. So, essentially when B intercepts the ball, they are now the offense, and B41 held A87 in the end zone. So this is indeed a safety. Okay, it's going to be 2 points for previous A. And in 334B, sorry, I'm having a good time. Number 5 says fouls. We don't extend a period for fouls which enforcement by rule it results in a safety. So we're going to have a safety. Period is over. Team change sides. B will kick off from the B20. Okay, so the answer is A. All right, question number 5. K 4th and 6 at the R10. K12 is kneeling on the ground at the R17 to hold the ball for K6 to kick a field goal. So that is a legal scrimmage kick formation. The requirement is that the holder has to be at least 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, which he is. So that's legal. K12 receives the snap and fakes placing the ball on the ground, and without rising, tosses the ball backward to K25, who runs around the end for a touchdown. And the rule references 422A, and this is a very important rule. If the ball becomes dead and the down is ended when a runner goes out of bounds, is held so his forward progress is stopped, or allows any part of his person other than a hand or foot to touch the ground. Now, we have an exception for the place kick holder with his knee on the ground and with a teammate in kicking position. He catches or recovers the snap while his knee is on the ground and places the ball for a kick, or if he rises to advance, hand or kick or pass. So, he met almost all of those, but he did not rise. And therefore, as soon as he let go of that ball, the play was dead. He was down. So, we have a dead ball. R is going to have it 1st and 10 at the R17. Okay, question number 6. K 4th and 6 at the K10. K62 is standing in the end zone, so he's the punter. in an attempt to punt. K62 muffs the snap and kicks the ball off the ground. So that's illegal kicking, right? It rolls to the K28 where an inadvertent whistle is blown. Why? Okay, so this is a question that I like and I don't like because it confuses people. This is the ball is dead rule, and the ball is dead when a game official sounds his or her whistle inadvertently. Okay, so as soon as that inadvertent whistle is blown, we have a dead ball. Okay. We also know that fouls committed that would be enforced in the end zone result in a safety. And this one was committed in the end zone, and if accepted, it would result in safety. 423D tells us the penalty should be administered as determined by the basic spot and takes precedence over an inadvertent whistle administration if during a down a live ball foul occurs prior to the inadvertent whistle and the penalty is accepted. So that's basically what I was just talking about. There is an exception, if you will, for the inadvertent rule. Normally you can accept the results of the play or you can replay the down. During a kick, a legal kick, there is no choice. Okay, they have to replay the down. But this is not a legal kick, so that doesn't apply. And that's why I kind of don't like this, because I'd rather, you not come away thinking that it doesn't matter that the ball was kicked. It does, if it's legally kicked. So, if R accepts the penalty, we'll have a safety. And if they decline, then we'll replay the down. So the answer is D, either A or B. Okay, question number 7. K, 4th and 12 at the R42. R12 muffs a punt at the R8. He didn't fumble it, he muffed it. It means he just touched it, or it touched him. K12 catches the muff. I'm not sure if they mean catches it in the air, but okay. Either way, it doesn't matter. At the R9 and runs into the end zone for a touchdown. And the rule reference is 422F. And 422F tells us when the kickers catch or recover any free kick anywhere, and when the kickers catch or recover a scrimmage kick beyond the neutral zone, and when the kickers are first, i.e. before any touching by the receivers, to touch a scrimmage kick after it has come to rest beyond the neutral zone. This is when a play ends. Okay? So, we have a muff. So, the ball, there's no change in status of the ball. As soon as K12 catches that ball at the R9, the play is over. And once he's possessed it, it's over. He can't run it. He can't advance it. The only time K could advance would be after the ball was possessed by R, and then he fumbled. Okay, so 99 times out of 100 on a scrimmage kick, you are not going to allow K to score or advance. Okay, it's dead where the ball is recovered. So the answer here is B, K, 1st and goal at the R9. Okay, question number 8. K, 4th and 8 at the R38. K8 punts the ball. R23 muffs the kick at the R3. To prevent K from recovering the ball, K23 kicks the ball at the R2, and it goes out of the back of the end zone. And we've got a buttload of rules references here. 422 again is play ball's dead or play ends. And D says when any legal free kick or scrimmage kick, which is not a scoring attempt or which is a grounded scoring attempt, breaks the plane of the goal line. Now you may be saying, wait a minute, the scrimmage kick didn't put the ball beyond the plane. The illegal kick did. Well, we've talked about this before, and this is regarding force. And force is not a factor on kicks going into R's end zone, since these kicks are always a touchback, regardless of who supplied the force. So, even though R illegally kicked the ball, which is a foul, that kicking did not result in a safety. Okay, the ball, as soon as the ball broke the plane, it was dead. So now we have to wonder, okay, where do we enforce this thing from? So the basic spot is the spot where the kick ends when R commits a post-scrimmage kick foul. Well, that didn't happen. I don't know why it's in there, 10-4-3. 10-4-6, remember, PSK foul has to be committed by K. R committed this foul. So 10-4-6 tells us the basic spot is a 20-yard line for fouls by either team when the opponent of the team in possession at the time of the foul is responsible for forcing the ball across the goal line of the team in possession, and when the related run ends in the end zone and is followed by a loose ball, regardless of where the loose ball becomes dead. Whew. Anyway, bottom line, the enforcement spot is the 20-yard line, but we have the all but one principle, which means a foul by R or A committed behind the basic spot is a spot foul. So R kicked that ball at the 2. We're going to enforce the penalty, half the distance to the goal, a whole 1 yard, and it'll be R's ball, 1st and 10 at their own 1 yard line. The answer is C. Okay, question number 9. K 4th and 9 at the K31. K52 punts the ball and is blocked by R41. K80 recovers the ball and advances to the K42. It is K 1st and 10, K42, game clock starts on the ready because K retains possession. There's a lot of holes in this question. Doesn't say that where the ball ended up, but we have to assume that it was behind the line of scrimmage in order for K to be able to recover and advance. So this is really a clock question, and 343 says the game clock shall start with the snap when any free kick is touched other than first touching by K if the game clock was stopped because. And C tells us either team is awarded a new series following a legal kick. So we had 4th and 9. They had to get the line of game was the 40. K got it to the 42, so they got a first down. We have a legal kick. So the clock is going to start on the snap, not on the ready. So this is false. All right, question number 10. A 3rd and 5 at the B15, so they're going in 15 yards away from a score. A15 runs around the right end to the B12 where he's hit and fumbles. Airborne B24 possesses the loose ball and lands out of bounds at the B9. And the rules references are all related to out of bounds. So that tells you that ain't going to be B's ball. Well, I guess it doesn't tell you that. So 343 simply says the game clock started on snap when the ball goes out of bounds. Okay. Fine. Oh, wait. So the other reference is 431. When a loose ball goes out of bounds, the out of bounds spot is fixed by the yard line where the foremost point of the ball crosses the sideline. When the ball becomes dead, never mind about that part. but basically, we got a loose ball, and we have to determine where the ball touched basically touched the plane of the sideline. For our purposes, it's going to be the B9. So, even though B12 fumbled it and A24 possessed it, he did not land in bounds. So it's going to be A's ball, and they got past the line of gain, which was the B10. So they're going to be A first and goal at the B9. Okay, A 3rd and 7 at the B15. A21 runs around the left end and is hit hard by B18 at the B10. The line judge blows his whistle, and B56 recovers the ball at the B7. The rule reference is 423, which says the team in possession may choose to either accept the results of the play at the dead ball spot or replay the down if during a down or during a down in which a penalty for a foul is declined, an inadvertent whistle is sounded while the ball is in player possession. So you're saying to yourself, wait a minute, nobody's in possession, ball was fumbled. Well, this is where Rule 2 comes in. You've got to understand the definition of the word possession, and it says a ball in team possession is a live ball, which is in player possession, or one which is loose following loss of such player possession. A live ball is always in possession of a team. Now, so that means even though the ball is loose, and we have to assume that the line judge blew the whistle before B56 recovered it. If A decides to take the result of the play, the ball will be placed at the 10 because that's where the player lost possession, and it would be 4th and 2 at the B10. If they want to replay the down, we'll just go back to the B15, and it'll be A 3rd and 7. So the answer is D, either A or C. Now, I want to make a point here about this case study. It's real good, but it's confusing because it's 4th and goal is the situation. A1 is hit and fumbled, and as the ball rolls into the end zone, an inadvertent whistle is sounded. The fumble occurs A at the 5-yard line or B at the 3-yard line. In A and B, A will have a choice of taking the play at the spot of the fumble or replaying the down. If A takes the play, it is B's ball at the 5 or at the 3. And that's because it's 4th and goal. It has nothing to do with what we just talked about. So you got to keep that in mind. So obviously A would not take the result of the play. They would replay the down. But so this is a little confusing. But that's the reason that B's going to get the ball, not because of any other reason. They're just added. They didn't get the line. They didn't make the line to gain, which was the goal line. All right, moving on. All right, question number 12. K 4th and 8 at the K25. K7's punt is blocked behind the line of scrimmage and recovered by K56 to K18, where he's tackled inbounds. Game clock is stopped and the play clock is set for 25 seconds. Both start on the referee's signal. So, obviously K, even though they recovered, they did not make the line to gain. So we have a change of possession. And the rule reference is 3-6-1A, parentheses 1, parentheses F. So, Article 1 deals with play clock and ready for play. And this is the play clock. 25 seconds would be put on the play clock and start on the ready for play signal. F, following a legal kick when either team is awarded a new series, and we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so that's exactly what happened here. We have a legal kick, and B is now going to have a new series. So we're going to switch out the balls, get the ball in. As soon as the ball's down, the Referee is going to chop, and we've got 25 seconds on the play clock as opposed to 40 seconds. So the answer here is true. Okay, K 4th and 7 at the K10. K15 holds R31 in the end zone to prevent him from blocking the kick. R22 catches the kick at the K46 and is tackled there. Time expires in the first quarter. R accepts the penalty for holding, which results in a safety. Extend the period, and K kicks from the K20. Okay, we've kind of gone over this a lot. But basically, whenever we have an accepted penalty at the end of a period, we extend the period for one untimed down with these exceptions. Okay, Article 4. And one of them is fouls for which enforcement by rule results in a safety. So there was a hold in the end zone by K or the offense, and so therefore we have a safety. And we don't extend the period for an untimed down on a penalty whose enforcement by rule results in safety. So this is false. Okay, question number 14. A 3rd and 5 at the A40. A27 runs to the A42, where he is hit and fumbles the ball high into the air. B18 leaps to catch the ball and lands at the A47 while 1 foot touches the sideline. Okay, so again, we've had this question before, and the other one, the player caught it in the air, airborne, landed out of bounds. This is the same situation. The player possesses the ball, true, but he does not land in bounds. Therefore, it is a ball out of bounds. It's just like if the fumble had gone out at the A47. The ball's gonna be at the A47, and A benefits by 5 yards, and as a result gets a first down. So the answer is A, 1st and 10 at the A47. The rule reference is the one we went over before about a loose ball going out of bounds. So I'm not going to cover it again. All right, moving on. Okay, so hang in here with me on this one, guys. K 4th and 8 at the K16. K18 receives a snap and punts the ball. During the kick, R49 at the R49, I'm sorry. K86 interferes with R28, who muffs the ball. The ball rolls out of bounds at the K40. Time for the second period expires. So we have a question of a foul. Where is the spot of the foul? What's the enforcement? Okay, and whether we extend the period. This one's loaded. So the rule reference is really interesting. Just one rule reference, 333, but this is our old friend, a period shall be extended. So a foul by either team, the penalty is accepted except for those fouls listed in 334B. So we go down to 334B. It's our old friend where the safety, unsportsmanlike non-player, fouls that specify a loss of down, fouls that are enforced on the subsequent kickoff. Those are all fouls that do not extend the down. So that's not so. Kick catching interference, which is what this is not one of those fouls. So we're definitely going to extend the period. Now the question is, where do we enforce? And if you look at the case study that he points at, it refers to the 656 penalty. So this is kick catching interference. Okay, I'm not going to read the case book. You can, but if we go down to 656 penalty enforcement, kick catching interference. Kick catching interference is one of the fouls that has special enforcement. So it's a 15-yard penalty, and R can accept the results of the play. They can have an awarded fair catch after enforcement of a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, or a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot and a replay of the down. Okay, so if the ball, if somehow they K interferes and R ends up still advancing a good long way, they will take the results of the play. In this case, the ball goes out of bounds at the K40, which actually is pretty good. So they've gained 11 yards, but they're going to get 15 yards if they accept the awarded fair catch. Now, awarded fair catch just means we're going to act like R gave the fair catch signal, and the ball would be dead where the ball was caught. Okay. See, during a kick with R28 who muffs the ball does not tell us. Oh, okay. Okay, so the enforcement spot is the R49, right? So we're going to go 15 yards from there. That'll be the K36, and R's ball first and 10, or we can go K's ball 4th and 16 from the K8 because we were on the K16, so it's half the distance. It's a 15-yard foul, 15-yard penalty rather, but we're going to go half the distance, and still the period would be extended. So because this is an acceptance of the foul, even though K is re-kicking. I know it's complicated. Think through it, but the answer here is D, B, or C. All right, question number 16. This is a good one. This doesn't happen very often, and we need to know what happens when it does happen. The ball is not dead when an illegal forward pass, of course it has to be an illegal forward pass, couldn't be a legal forward pass, is simultaneously caught by both an A and B player. So the rules reference is 422C. 422 is our old, the ball becomes dead and the down is ended when, okay? And it's the standard when the runner goes out of bounds, forward progress is stopped, blah, 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 blah. C says, when any forward pass, legal or illegal, is incomplete or simultaneously caught by opposing players. So, we're going to this is treated as if it's an incomplete pass. A is going to be awarded the ball on a simultaneous catch. That's covered in a different rule, but just take my word for it. And so it is dead. So this is false. Okay, question 17. I don't even know why this is here. It is a rule, so we'll cover it. At the coin toss, the home team has 4 captains, 12, 18, 32, and 78. The head coach tells the referee that number 6 is a designated representative for all penalty decisions. This is not allowed because number 6 is not a captain. Rule references 144 says each head coach shall designate a representative who will make decisions regarding penalty acceptance or declination. His first choice of any offending decision is final. Decisions involving penalties shall be made before any charge timeout is granted or to either team. The head coach's designee remains in place for the entire game, or except in case of emergency. So there's nothing in there about them having to be a captain. And, from a practical standpoint, we're not going to use this guy. And we're going to go to the head coach if there's any real question about acceptance or declination. We're not going to go to this representative. But by rule, he can do this, and he does not have to be a captain. So this is false. Okay, question number 18. The home team coach is using an electronic tablet to record situations and plays during the game. During a timeout, this information is shared with players at the sideline. Legal or illegal? Well, this isn't really worded correctly because it could be legal, it could be illegal. So we have two types of conferences, right? We have an inside the 9-yard mark conference, that's inside the top of the numbers, and we have it in conferences outside the 9-yard mark. And the differences are that we can have multiple coaches involved in the inside the 9-yard mark conferences, and they can use electronic devices to communicate and show players on things. Outside the 9-yard conferences, only one coach, and they can't use the electronic tablets. So you're probably saying, well, why the hell would you have an outside the 9-yard mark conference? That's a good question. Remind the coaches of this. If they want to have this kind of conference and the kids are standing all around, hey, coach, they got to be below the numbers. They got to be below the numbers. Don't let it happen. And the same thing with an injury timeout. Tell the coaches, you're off the field. Players, you're on the field. They can literally stand in front of each other on the sideline and inside the field, just at the sideline. Okay, take care of this early and often, and don't let it get. Don't ignore it. All right. So, for the purposes of this question, we'll assume it's inside the 9-yard mark, so that it is legal. I think I said bottom of the numbers. It's top of the numbers. Sorry about that. Okay. K, 4th and 3 at the K25. K7 punts the ball. R27 blocks the kick behind the neutral zone. K22 recovers the ball at the K20 and runs to the K30. So we've got a 4th and 3 at the K25. We have a legal kick that ends up behind the neutral zone at the K20. The K player legally can advance this ball, and he does so, gets to the K30. So he's got K has a first down. And so the question is really whether we start on the ready or on the snap. And 343 tells us the game clock shall be start with the snap when any free kick is touched other than first touching by K if the game stopped because either team is awarded a new series following a legal kick. Been through this one before. So it's going to start on the snap. K has a new set of new series. So the answer is B. Okay, last question. Question number 20. A 1st and 10 at the A22. A14 passes the ball to A83. The line judge inadvertently blows his whistle. Now we have to assume the ball is still in flight. And B55 leaps to block the pass and then contacts A83 while the ball is still in the air. Okay, so it was in flight. And the rule references 423B, which is about as clear as mud on this particular situation. The team last in possession may choose to either put the ball in play where possession was lost or replay the down if during a down or during a down in which the penalty for a foul is declined and an inadvertent whistle is sounded while the ball is loose following a backward pass, fumble, illegal forward pass, or illegal kick. And we don't have that. We have an inadvertent whistle on a legal forward pass. It refers to 423B, which does answer our question. I don't understand why this isn't in the rule. It says, while a legal forward pass is in flight, A, B1 interferes with eligible A1 and then there is an inadvertent whistle, or B, a whistle is inadvertently sounded after which B2 contacts A2 while the ball is still in flight. So in A, we have the inadvertent whistle after the contact. The designated representative accepts the penalty for a foul which occurred prior to the inadvertent whistle. The penalty takes precedence, 15 yards in advance of the previous spot. In B, the contact by B2 has occurred during a dead ball period. So once that whistle's blown, it plays dead. and unless it's a personal foul, which means, unless the contact by B55 comprised a personal foul, and it'll be a dead ball personal foul, unless it's a personal foul, will be ignored because the whistle was inadvertently sounded while illegal forward pass was in flight. Now, I don't know why the rule doesn't say that, but it doesn't. Anyway, the down shall be replayed. And the rule reference they've got here, 7510A, is simply the rule for pass interference. I don't know what that has to do with anything with this, with this. I guess it does have a little bit something to do with with this A situation, but we have the B situation. So basically, they got to replay the down. There's no choice here. So we're going to just go back and play it over again. It's going to be B. A first and 10 at the A22. Well, that'll do it for Rule 134. We got lots more test videos in the playlist. I also put in a link to a PDF version of the test. If you want to download that, you can, and just follow the link. If you like my videos, and I have lots of them, everything from how to work with the chain crew to plays of the week to targeting, you name it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you click on my picture in the top right corner, it'll take you to my YouTube channel. Click on subscribe, and then make sure you click on the bell below and turn all notifications on. That's the dark gray bell. If you want to see the rest of these rules videos, click on the playlist on the left. Mark Andrews signing off.